welcome to the Nordic Mythology podcast. I'm Daniel Farrand of the company Horns of Odin. As always, before we jump to the show, I do have to plug our Patreon. I know I say it every week, but it literally is the lifeline to the show. So if you can pop over to Patreon/Nordic Mythology podcast, have a look at all the benefits we've got on there. So you get access to every episode we've ever done, the only place you can do now. So over 270 episodes that you can't get anywhere else with some amazing esteemed guests. You have the Viking smut episodes that we do where we look at Viking amateur erotic literature. Myself, Mags and Claire, these are always a lot of fun. You get the old story times we used to do. If you want to go way, way back, you get the Viking watch-along episodes we did with the TV show.
That was before my time.
That was a long time ago. There's so much stuff on there, and it starts from £3 a month, less than a cup of coffee for me or Mags. So go and have a look, and if you can support, we really, really do appreciate it. If not, then if you could leave a 5-star rating, positive review wherever you get your podcast, like, share, hit the bell and subscribe on YouTube. And also come and join us on our little Discord channel. If you do come onto Patreon, you get access to our Discord channel where there's a lot of lovely people. We have a nice little community of our supporters, and it's always a lot of fun and some nice little chit chat. So come and join the fun. But with that said, let's get into today's show. I'm looking forward to this. Our guest today is always a lot of fun every time he joins the podcast. But first, I'll introduce my lovely co-host and in-house archaeologist, Mags Havgar.
Hello.
There we go. And our guest today really needs no introduction. He's been on here quite a few times in the past. Every time, I think I'm left with my jaw agape. I think I said that last time. I'm left just awestruck by
bamboozled.
Yeah, by what we learn. It every time I think it can't happen, but it does. So our guest today is Luciano Pezzoli. A lot of you will know him from the Children of Ash project on Instagram. And a quick bio, like I said, doesn't really need it. He has a background in art and many years of Viking reenactment, which led him into research in Viking and early Germanic animal art. He studied the principles of later Viking styles, then expanded his work to explore the evolution of these designs through the migration period, focusing on their social, political, and religious context. Through his project Children of Ash, he's collaborated with universities and historical centres and created designs on a range of scales, from tattoos to the largest Viking artwork ever produced, 9,000 square meters of mirrored motifs in Mammon and Ringerike styles from 2 power converter stations in Jutland. Why have I never heard of that? I didn't even know. What's this about,
That's
Luciano?
also the first I'm hearing of it. What the heck? When did that happen?
I'm trying to keep it secret. Damn it.
Okay, so now we're just announcing on the podcast.
Is it not public knowledge yet?
Well, no, it is. It has actually been, inaugurated, like, I don't know, what was it? Early this year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What was it for?
It's I was asked by the archaeologist that co-founded Children of Ash, Lars Grunde, and he was in touch in Jutland with this power plant that was being put together, and this company called Energinet, which is the sort of overarching organization for energy in Denmark, and they, together with the British, what's it called? Grid something? Power? No.
The power grid?
Grid?
National grid?
National grid, exactly. So they actually made this connection, this enormous cable system under the sea to connect Denmark, Scandinavia in general, with Britain, so that they can exchange surplus energy.
Okay.
So he crystallized things, and this is a 2 buildings converter thingy, and they called this whole project a Viking link. And
Okay.
that's why they asked Lars for some design that would fit them. So I designed the whole thing with energy and gates in mind. So with a bit of a cultural concept. Sometimes, and that's.
So how does it? Where does the art go? Is it projected onto the buildings?
No, it's the buildings are 2 twin buildings, and they have sort of I think it's a metal plate around it, all around them, and they half tone patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically constructed the whole design in half tone, so made through bigger and smaller holes in the metal. So it looks. I'll have to show you something or something, but I didn't prepare for that. Damn it! I prepared for everything.
We just got really intrigued now. I'm so sorry. We I love how this episode didn't even start before we derailed the conversation.
Exactly.
We started with the sidetrack.
It's like,
I mean, the largest ever kind of piece of Viking art. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the designs have lines that are 30 centimeters wide.
Oh wow!
So imagine that's the thickness of the lines. So they're enormous.
Jeez,
It's a big thing.
Exactly.
Do you say you have a picture, or
I am actually looking for the pictures right now. It's like, oh my god.
So for those of you who are listening, it might be an idea to check out this episode specifically on YouTube, because I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of fun visual aids
it's actually
to look at today.
Yeah, mostly it will be that.
I think any of Luciano's episodes, watch them on YouTube if you can, because there will be lots of bits pulled up. And
actually looking for maybe I can find, let's see, damn it,
don't worry if you can't,
don't worry, Luciano, we can find it later.
I think I might be able.
I imagine you have so much
there you go. Yeah, I've got something. So shall I
there we go.
Sure, yeah.
Shall I share for a second? Just let's see. I mean entire screen. So I'll do the entire screen.
This is where my anxiety would be going wild.
All right. So this is the 2 plants. Can you see?
Okay, yeah.
So they look, they are exactly mirrored.
These aren't going to be like a security risk, are they? You're not meant to be not showing us like blueprints of the plant or anything like that. We're not.
No, you actually
security risk.
You can you can actually drive by and see it really. It's and
I don't want anyone knocking on my door in the middle of the night.
No, it's okay. This is not the USA, And this is the plants as they are being built. So you can see the grayish pattern on the outside. So it's made rather subtly. So it's not like overpowering in your face, but it's So you can actually see. Yeah, you see, you can see a pattern there.
Yeah.
You see, and it's
on the actual walls of the outside
everywhere. Yeah, all around. Yes, exactly. So you can
that's
see.
Gonna be so cool.
So you can see the caterpillars and whatever not, the vehicles. It's really huge. So here you can see a bit how it would look. So
what was it like for you to see that?
It's crazy.
It must have been really strange.
Yeah, it's very strange to see. It's so you see the holes. So the larger the holes, the darker it gets. You see?
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. I get it
so
now.
you can actually see the patterns. So I made 2 huge masks. One is this is a panel that is missing, but you get the idea. Here's a ringerike mask, and on the other side, the opposite side, there's a Mamensau mask. So
I'd never stop driving past the building if I'd done something like that.
Yeah, these are 2 beasts, 2 ringerike beasts.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well done, Luciano.
Thank you. I'm actually trying to organize somebody with a good equipment to do a nice drone footage of it. That would be really super cool.
I'm sure surely they'll want to do that themselves as well. I imagine if they've spent the money on doing it, they would have.
Exactly. This is the general idea of exactly.
It's a neat little idea how to use. I say just different size holes to create that pattern, because they could easily not have. They could have just had it as a plain building. They didn't have to. Go through that extra work. So that's really. Yeah,
it's really cool.
But as you see, it's like I tried to use motifs that had to do with energy and exchange. So it's like these motifs.
You can really see it in that picture now. Sorry.
Yeah, very often you see, it's like I didn't want to make the Gur Viking thing. I wanted it to connect to energy and natural resources, because it's about exchanging green energy. So like like wind power and like water, hydro. Energy. So I chose patterns that sort of resembles like waves and clouds and things like that.
Very mindfully designed.
Exactly.
It's really neat. I imagine if I was near that, I would drive past just to take a look, and I'm sure so many other people will, because it's so unique and it looks like it could be the outside of the new Viking ship museum. It looks like it could be something like that. That's
100%.
That's how good it looks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to hate myself for having this on record later, but I love how that new building is turning out, but it's not going to be cool on this level when it comes to the patterning. I can already tell you that.
Damn.
Well,
unfortunately.
Oh, well, maybe in the
building
future,
itself is going to be nice, but it's not going to have little building tattoos like this.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm aware, anyway.
Maybe
I'm like giving away some big ass secret that no one was supposed to know about. Who knows? But I guess we'll see in a couple of years or something.
It's so cool. That is really neat. So
yeah.
Good job.
That was that. I mean, how do I?
Good job, Luciano.
Stop sharing for a second. Yes. Okay.
So
I love the little infinity sharing thing that was going on.
So that was the impromptu thing.
Yeah, sorry about that, but
really interesting.
It was worth it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But let's get to the topic of today, because like I say, I'm sure there's so much to see, and it is the swords from the Salme ship burial. I think there's 5 of them, and you've been doing what Luciano does best: redrawing them, remapping them, trying to understand the work and what they might mean and their significance and the story behind them. So take it away, I guess. Is there a starting point?
The starting point, I would say, is it's like a bit of a recap, I suppose, of what the Salme burials are about.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So there are these, more like one ship and a boat that were excavated on this island off the coast of Estonia, and between 2008 and 2012, and they contain something like 41 warriors, an enormous amount of animals that were sacrificed in there. Let's see if I can actually I'll share the screen again, so I can.
I feel like it's going to be a
start.
theme of today.
Yes, but I will just. Yes, here it is. So here, well, just a general overview of what you're looking at. So these are the two ships, or on the right side you can see the larger ship, and where this yellow line goes across.
Mm-hmm.
On the right side is where the majority of these bodies of these warriors were stacked. They're nearly. They look as if they're stacked like like firewood. Strangely enough, but they are very neatly put. It's like in on different directions. It's like perpendicular to each other. So it's one layer and then another perpendicular
Looks
layer.
like they've been placed with care and intention.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even though there's, so how many is there in there? Do we?
This in the largest ship there are 34, I think, because in the other one there are 7. So
yeah. Quick
But
math, that is
yes.
34 and 7. Yeah.
But even though it's a mass burial, there, like you said, there's care taken. It is, you're kind of showing it with your hand there, where they've kind of done a layer and then turned 90 degrees and done like another layer, or at least it seems like that.
Yes, exactly. So so it looks, and they're all also intermingled with other animals. I mean, it's like the sacrificed animals, like their dogs and cows and pigs and birds of prey. There's I mean, they had the time to bury them. It's like it was not only that they took the ships off the water and put them ashore in a hurry. They took great care to bury them properly. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. No,
I wonder why one ship has so many on. Do you say the other one is a small boat?
Yes. Yeah, if you see the size of it's like the people, there, you can get a general idea of how large it is. Like maybe 10 meters. Like the smaller ship, but the larger ship is an actual ship.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, Luciano, but as far as I can remember, we assume that this happened fairly concurrently to each other, but we don't know exactly when the burials happened in relation to each other either. So these might have been, it might have happened at the same time, or it might have happened with like slightly different time intervals. Meaning that could be why there are so many in one boat and fewer, or so many in one ship and fewer in a smaller boat, and vice versa.
Yeah, I really don't know. But I mean, it's like what from the objects. I mean, it's a bit strange that they would be there. I mean, it's like you can speculate at this point about what could happen or could have happened. I mean, it's like the most like plausible thing is, or theory is that the clash, because it was a clash between two groups of warriors, happened between Swedes, so that Estonians were not involved. So the local population was not involved, and that the reason for that is that if they had clashed with the local population, the local population could have come back very easily at any point and dug out whatever they wanted. And they probably would have.
So am I right that Salme is like is it peninsula or like a little?
It's an island on. It's actually a place on the island called, I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Sodoma, isn't it?
Sarma? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I
Exactly.
think Sodoma, if I remember correctly, I watched a lecture on this a little while ago. It used to be a peninsula, but isn't anymore, or it's the other way around. It used to be, connected to land.
This one,
Mhm.
yes. So
Yeah.
that's where, and this is a diagram of the theory that, you know, from the art that I can confirm. They must have been, you know, you pronounce them Sver? Yeah, people
Svär,
from,
yeah.
exactly, from, the area around Ultuna, Uppsala, etc. So that's where, you know.
Isn't that what we would call Västgötaland, I think, in Scandinavian?
Yes, that's. But what the theory is that they might have been intercepted by the southern competitor neighbors from Götaland.
Mm-hmm.
So they might have had a clash there, and
Mm-hmm.
and there must have, there's been enough people to actually perform this massive burial.
I always, until I look at a map, I always forget how close Sweden is to that part of Europe.
Okay.
It's when you look at it's a greater distance from Norway to the British Isles than it is that it looks like a short trip, especially from Gotland over to kind of Estonia and Latvia. Yet you don't really. The main focus of the Viking Age always seems to be towards the kind of western side rather than the east.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I also just wanted to clarify that when Luciano was pointing to the yellow area on the map, I said, isn't that what we call Västgötaland, which obviously you guys wouldn't know. I was incorrect. That is Svär. The blue one is Västgötaland, known as Västgötaland today. Yes, which is the blue area. So just for I don't think we have a lot of Scandinavian speakers in the audience today live, but don't at me in the comments when this is released. I know I was wrong. Anyway, do continue, please, Luciano.
Well, that's the basic idea. So what my job was, I was asked to contribute to an article regarding the elite swords that were found in this burial, and they are, I mean, the most pompous and the richest swords, because they found an enormous amount of weapons, spears and other swords, etc. But these are the top ones, the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis, so to speak. And there's a lot that you can see from them. You can actually see also a sort of, their place in time as well. And so you can actually see a development in. So the richest ones seem to have been an heirloom, because there's one of the swords is of a later age, like we're talking about 50, 60 years later than the other ones, but they were really, really high-end swords. So the majority of the swords from the, say, late 600s. Yeah, exactly. And there is this one sword that is from the early to mid 700s.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's one, and you can actually see it both in the ornaments as in the construction of the sword. So
Oh, that's nice
a
when
change.
they both show the same thing. That's
Yes.
usually great when the
Exactly.
technology and the art, corresponds. We don't always get that. That can be annoying.
No, exactly. There's some discrepancy. I've had a few discussions with an expert from Czech Republic about swords because I was discussing the style, and he was countering about the actual type of sword. So we were arguing over 20 years. It was kind of funny.
So I think it's probably worth quickly just mentioning that we're talking about, or they think that the ships were buried between 700 and 750.
Exactly.
Which predates, I guess, the
Viking Age,
quote unquote, the Viking Age, starting with
It
Lindisfarne.
predates what we set to be the start of the Viking Age. But the Viking Age didn't happen overnight. So the question is this an early example of Viking Age type behavior that we see going on?
That could be easily. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, there is a continuity in the themes.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely didn't have a break in mentality through their it's like art expressions. So it's something that definitely continued. And the period we're looking at, the period before the Viking Age, is actually the most, to be really honest, the artistically speaking, is a very, very fertile how do you say experimental ground for further styles, actually. So because it's very difficult in the Vendel period to establish what was going on stylistically and thematically, because an enormous amount of things were happening at the same time. It's much easier to trace the sequence of transformations in stylistic forms in the Viking Age than in the Vendel Age. There's much more going on. So it's very difficult to, but it's super interesting, absolutely. So let's take a look. So I'll show you the first sword. It's one of the swords or these swords that were found, and this is more or less I don't know if you can. Oh shit! No, I hide it. Oh damn!
What did I do? Why don't you pull that up?
What did I do?
You'd think that if there's 41 people on there, I think in total, and there's a whole host of swords and weaponry, you would guess that these were warriors, and it seems like some sort of Viking-esque
let's say it's not outside the realm of reason to assume that.
Yes, definitely. The swords are a bit different from the instructor, from the ones in the later Viking Age, in that they are also structured in layers. You can actually see I made a sort of a mock-up of the first sword. Can you see this one?
No, you stopped sharing your screen.
Oh no, your screen's gone.
Let's see. Because I tried to then I'll share the entire screen again. I tried.
There we go. We can
perfect.
see
So there you go. So now you can see So this is one of the swords, 412. And as you can see, it is made out of several layers. So you have a pommel at the top with a classic ring, which connected to the pommel, and the ring is a story of its own. There's still a lot of dispute on why it's there, what it represents, why it's and because there is not one specific way it is placed on swords. Some swords have the ring, some swords are built with the ring, some have it attached later. So it's very difficult to understand what it is about. Some hypothesize that it may be a sign of allegiance to a leader, but it's not. It's not something that we could confirm pretty much.
So are these rivets on each?
Yes.
On each side.
Exactly. You got rivets that connect all these horizontal layers. Yeah.
Is that common practice for how? I don't know how swords were made back then, but I feel like I've not really seen swords with rivets like that on the pommel and I guess the guard.
Before the Viking Age, this was rather common practice.
Okay.
Yes, exactly, and that's also where we're going towards with the change in technique and technology. But we'll see it later. So just take it for a given for a second that before the Viking Age, these structures or the swords were made, were composed out of different layers. So you have a layer, these layers are hollowed on the inside, and the outside is very finely decorated. So you've got this, you see, I'll show you the reconstruction is going to be a lot easier. So this is what it would have looked like in its.
Oh wow!
It's insane. It's insane how you get from that last picture to the one that you're showing us now.
Exactly. Well, it took a while to reconstruct, and I would have been much happier if I'd taken the photos myself, because it's like when you reconstruct, you really you need specific angles and specific lighting for the decoding, and sometimes the photographers are not aware of my work, so it can be rather frustrating. So it's may have taken a couple of months longer than it could have.
Okay. So would that have been a gold plating on there, or have you just chosen that color?
No, it was gilded bronze. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You know how gilded bronze was made, right?
I feel like I should know, but now that you asked the direct question, I can't tell you exactly how.
Is it through electricity?
No, not so much.
Liquid. Well, I'm trying to think back to.
Yes, there is something. There is a liquid.
I don't know. I isn't. Maybe I'm on the.
Well, is it put in a mold and kind of stamped onto it in a sense, where liquid gold is kind of just like.
Well, no, it's much more toxic than that.
I'm thinking of is it electrolysis? Where you? I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Dan, have you ever got some cavities filled in the old-fashioned way?
I am a good boy, Luciano. I don't have any fillings.
Okay, but you're aware of them, so.
I am aware of those lesser teeth, but not mine. I'm proud of my.
Excellent, very good.
I can chew on tinfoil all I want.
Okay, but I'm really, I'm just But yes, in the old days, now they don't do it anymore. They used to, to make fillings with amalgam, which is a blend of silver and other metal. So that's what you had your fillings made of. The dark fillings in the teeth are a blend of metal, of other metals, and silver. Oh no, they call it silver, but it's actually mercury, which
hence the toxicity.
Is rather toxic. But what they did in this time, and also in the Viking Age, that they made these bronze casts. They chip engraved them, so that means they made them the design in a softer material, like wax, for instance, and then they cast them, so they would be rather rough in detail. So with a burr, they refine them very well in every detail, and then they gilded them. And the gilding went, so they took powdered, just very finely grated gold, let's say, so like a sort of powder, and they blended it with mercury, and that sort of melts. It's like it cold melts the gold. So they were able to brush it onto all the details and all the crevices of the design.
All the nooks and crannies. Yeah.
Exactly. Everywhere there.
That's fascinating.
And then the toxic part comes in.
I wouldn't want to be the person doing it.
Then they would heat it up and let the mercury evaporate, which is really good for your lungs.
Just smell all those fumes. Mercury, for those of you who are not aware, also goes by another name, namely Quicksilver. Mm-hmm. It is extremely poisonous.
My science teacher at school would be having a fit if they heard this. I don't know if that rings true to anybody. Did you stop there?
Yeah, but I still remember that there were, like, when I was a kid, that there were certain, like, type of older thermometers where my parents were like, if that ever breaks, you need to run away. Like, don't be around it if it ever breaks, because it would have little mercury fillings.
Yeah, absolutely. We had them at school, and if somebody broke one, the teacher would usher everybody out and run away from the mercury.
I used to play with a ball, so it's a horrible, stupid idea.
The 1900s were a different time, you guys.
Yeah, exactly, right? No, but you know that they used mercury also to make hats in the 1800s.
Yeah,
I do. Mazata.
Yes, and that's where it comes from. So imagine the gilders in the Vendel and Viking Age would go pretty much insane as well.
Oh, wow. I'd be so fascinated to know whether there were any stories or any sagas, if any of them if it fed in to any lore or myth.
There might be, in knowing that, maybe like any story that has a smith in it can be read with a bit of a, how far along in the mercury poisoning it's this specific character.
Yeah.
Could explain some behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So
all right, let's continue with the swords.
Let's do it. So which sword was that? Was that the oldest one or I forgot, sorry.
This is one of the older
420
types.
Oh, 412, I mean.
412, yes, exactly. And you can see actually this is a flip side. And it gives you a good idea of which side was on against the body, and which side was on the other.
Yeah, there's no faces on the other side.
Exactly.
Are you able to make that full screen?
Yes. I don't know if I can flip from one to the other full screen.
Oh,
let's try.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
Well, I can
Fair
just go back and then give full screen on the other one now.
Oh yeah, that's interesting
go.
that they saved time by only really putting the detail on one side.
Well, save time. I wouldn't say that.
I mean, look at the knot work, Dan.
Exactly.
It's pretty intricate.
That's not much saving, really.
Because I mean, this looks like
I had to lean right in now to see it.
infinity knot. Am I correct, Luciano? Is that like it has no point of origin or point of end? It just goes like infinitely loops into itself.
Well, that's generally the idea of knot work. And actually, one of the things that like I've been questioning academics, and I've been rather surprised about is that that there is no history of knot work. There is no bibliography about the development of interlace and knotwork, and to me, it's just as characteristic as the beast heads and the bodies. So I can tell you if I see a knotwork made in the Vendel Age, I know exactly which style it is. So it doesn't.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of quite interesting to see that.
So that this asymmetry, is that the ring you mentioned before? Because you mentioned the ring on the original image. So this isn't missing something on the other side. It was made to be this shape and not have that symmetrical look that we kind of associate with the pommel.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like that. There are some swords that have this construct built on top the original sword. So the sword was made and completed, used before, and then afterwards this was attached on. But in this particular sword, it was cast as one piece. So you could hypothesize, if it's true, that it's connected to being a vassal of something, like being gifted, or having,
Is that two? Because obviously we can only see this angle. Is that two rings, one like this and then one like?
One is vertical, so like this half.
Yes.
That goes onto the pommel, and then the horizontal, cushion-like shape is also a ring horizontally. Yes.
So they're like interlocking.
Yes.
That's interesting. Yes, that's interesting. It could be.
But it's in one piece, so you could hypothesize that it was built by the workshop of a leader and given to a vassal as like a token directly of their connection.
Interesting.
Perhaps.
I wonder if it would throw off the weight of the sword. I don't know enough about swords, but I know that obviously balance is important. I don't know whether that would.
But that also immediately brings the question. I mean, this is also then like we're kind of doing a little detour from the original topic here, but as we usually do. But I mean, that also brings into question then whether or not this was, if it would throw off the weight, if this sword was even intended to be used as a weapon, or whether it was meant to be used as like a symbol, a decorative status, something or other. Because you also have like bronze weapons and stuff that's around, but you can't use an actual bronze weapon for shit because it's too soft. It's gonna bend. It's not gonna work.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's like in the Greeks, and they waged tons of wars just with bronze weapons.
Fair enough. I stand corrected in that regard. But there is. Well, if we disregard the bronze thing, there are cases of weapons that are clearly not intended to be actually functional, like functioning in war, but that are probably to be used as kind of like a pretty stand-in for when you don't need to be violent.
No, but I think these are actually. I mean, it's like there's too
That would track
much.
with the find.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't bring a Bronze Age sword to an Iron Age sword fight.
Hey,
Is what you're kind of getting at, Mags.
but
well, you wouldn't use a sword of the. A Bronze Age sword is fine if you're fighting other people with Bronze Age swords, but if it comes up against an iron or steel sword, you're kind of knackered.
Well, I mean more that you wouldn't necessarily bring like your pretty silverware to a fight, is what I'm saying. Kind of that, like Luciano said, considering the find and the circumstances, this was probably intended to be functional.
Yeah. These swords are just like connected. I mean, the one that you'll see later has also been found with an actual iron/steel blade on it, and it's way too much work to have around in a context which it's like clearly indicates that they had a very hard fight, and these look like actual heirlooms, so they were probably made at least a generation before the wearers were were around, so they probably inherited
really cool.
them. They were really wow. You could actually see it from the next step sword that is definitely from a further generation.
Okay, cool. Let's see the next sword.
There's a number of them. I just leave the best for last, really. So here's another one. Unfortunately, you can see only the pommel. You wanted to say?
Just on the last one before we move on. Was that sword sharpened on both sides? Because I can't help but think whether
this one I don't think that there was no. I don't think that the blade was there.
Yeah.
Was but
because I wondered if it could be like a marker, when you had it in the sheath, or as a kind of like marked this side up almost. The ring kind of goes to the bottom if it was only sharpened on one side, or if it was more useful that kind of way as like an identifier.
I think that the ring was actually on the you can actually see from the pommel. So on the pommel you see that there is a mask. I'll turn it round. So this is the right way up. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
So this is because you can see the mask. So you'd see the mask when it's sheathed. So you'd have the ring towards the center of your body, I suppose. Wait a second. No, that's not. Yeah. So the upper, it would be on the upwards. If you have it on your left side, if you're right-handed. Right. And then if you draw the sword, then you have it, like you can actually see it in the right, right way up. So with the mask here,
the details so small.
Yeah,
some of these bits.
Oh, it's really small. So that was one of the main issues. Actually, it's what hit me about all these swords, because if you look at this, you need to look at your own hand, and between the two guards, you can barely fit your hand. They probably would fit 3 fingers and
so
have
for
their
comparison.
What's that?
This is my trowel. I'm just trying to see like sizing wise.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. So
this is like the size. Imagine this is a sword pommel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you'll see it in the next pictures. I actually put centimeters, but you're looking at something that has more or less this size of grip, and the guards are pretty much this size. So it's really, really, really tiny. That's actually one of the main problems, is how amazingly small the details are, especially on the very, very, very elaborate one. That poses a few issues.
All right.
So
let's go to the next, because you're teasing this elaborate one, and I want to make sure we have time.
All right,
when perfect. We get there.
So here's another one, and this one. So this is what we found. That's all there is. So there are two beasts facing each other. But it's quite interesting. Like perhaps, it's like I wanted to give a bit of an overview, and then we could look into some of the themes, maybe, because there's an interesting thing. I mean, we talked about the themes before, so like before the Viking Age and during the early Viking Age. So like say the pre-Christian period, you see that beasts don't have a very clear defined shape. You have a conglomerate of very cubistic kind of creatures that you can see, that you see from different angles at the same time as well, and that are composed out of parts of different creatures. So that's why it makes it very, very complex to answer the question, what beast is this? It's it's like it's the wrong question. It's a beast that is a blend. It's a representation. It's a manifestation of what they thought was going on inside beings, pretty much. So it's a number of things going on. So here's
I love that you say that, Luciano, because like I feel like that's a lot of stuff that like we have to kind of set the baseline when we're talking to our expectations today. We're like you said, that what the beast is kind of isn't the point. Specifying what species it is not what it's about at all.
Exactly.
We're asking the same, like the wrong questions. But look at this.
Exactly.
So is it likely that was the only kind of gold gilded part on it? Because it seems as though that gold coating gives it some durability when it's in the soil, I guess, because they're the bits that seem to survive.
Maybe you might be right about that.
Survive quite well.
Yeah, you can actually see that the gilding in the original pieces. I don't have a lot of. I can look at the photographs, but generally speaking, when you see gilded bronze pieces, obviously the surface gets more worn. So you actually see much more of the gilding in the crevices in between, in the slanted surfaces that go to the background, because like the gilded surface is tucked in, so not so exposed directly to wear and tear and whatnot. So it's the surface is the part that gets the gold, that loses the golden patina most easier. It's like this. So I mean, but like if, for example, to give an idea of that blended theme, here you can see two beasts facing each other. So you have two heads and their snouts that are crossing each other, right? And then you see two necks that go to two bodies with the back legs. But the front legs are very interesting. So you see the beast on the right, for example, it's like throat line goes and actually blends with the shoulder of the beast in front. So they are actually sort of conjunct. It's like sort of surrealistically connected.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't go to its own shoulder, but it goes to the shoulder of the opposite creature. And that's exactly what the other one does too.
Wow.
See?
Yeah. Wow.
See? So it's
but they look like Viking Age art that I've seen, but also not
Because it's an
quite.
earlier style. Yeah.
Yeah. So
exactly.
it very recognizable as that
Absolutely.
kind of Viking Age style that we all know of,
Mhm.
but it's just also just not quite. It's a little bit different.
Exactly.
Like I guess the eyes are very different, and the kind of head shape.
To ask a very specified niche nerd question, Luciano, and also at the risk of falling on my face, are we talking Celine style 2 here?
Yes, exactly. There's the further classification is, it's like Selen styles are, it's like migration period is style 1. This would be style 2, but style 2 actually includes part of the
3
earlier
and
bit.
Yep.
So there is a further classification in letters. So it's like, and it goes from B, from the migration period.
Right.
C.
Yes.
This is C. C style.
It's very
Nice.
impressive, Mags.
Thank you. It's just I've been nerding out about these styles, so sometimes I don't have a lot of context where this would be relevant. So that's why I wanted to try and see if I was right. So thank you, Luciano. I'm very happy that I wasn't
Not at
massively
all.
wrong.
No, you are not wrong at all. Actually, so like the further style classification, just it's like just to introduce people to the nerdy world. The early style defined migration period as 1, a style 1. The Vendel area, so pre-Viking, as style 2, very roughly, and then style 3 would be the early Viking Age, pretty much.
Very early Viking Age.
Yes, but the further the more recent classification is turned is divided a bit further, especially the later part of this period. So between the Viking, the Vendel period, so that would be the style 2. In this new classification is style C. But between that and the early Viking Age, there is one more style, which is style D.
Right.
And style
yes.
D is actually the very, very early. Yeah, it's between 2 and 3, basically.
Yeah, it's between 2 and 3, and then you also have the sub-classification, because I also remember like the Oseberg ship itself is, or I argued at least in my MA thesis, is that style 3E. So you have both the numbers and the letters.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue on. Thank you for indulging me.
No problem. And the other side of this pommel is also quite interesting stylistically, because there is a very weird creature.
Oh.
So you see there's a massive head a bit to the mid right side, like upside down. So the top part of the snout.
But there are a lot of heads going on here, aren't there?
Yeah, there's more there's serpents entangled to that one. But if you look at the main head, right, there's this top of the snout with curving downwards. That would be curving upwards if it was turned way up. And there's a tongue in between and the lower jaw there. So from there, then you see obviously the large eye. And then the neck is very interesting because it turns into a hoop. And as it turns into a hoop, it divides its neck going to the right and to the left. So practically you're seeing the body of the same beast from the right side and the left side at the same time. Yep. So this is very cubistic. This is Picasso at its best. So you're looking at the same beast from 2 sides at the same time.
So almost like a spatchcock. Is that the right word?
What?
Like a spatchcock
I'm not
chicken?
familiar with that term.
Oh yeah, it's just like crashed open. Yes,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So if you look at the right or the left uh, bottom corner, you see the thigh. So that circle is the ball of the thigh, and then it goes forward to the leg. Well, that's the right side of the same leg at the top, or like a bottom right side. So you're looking at the same limb, basically, from two sides at the same time.
Okay.
And then it's entangled
very
with
meta.
1, 2, 3, 4 snakes entangled with the body. But
Whoa.
it's very surrealistic. Like this
It's like a
is
logic
really
puzzle. Like it's like you're looking at a logic puzzle in a weird way.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. And this is the top view. So it has also a couple of snakes. Here's a snake head. And yeah.
What
So
are
that's
those?
Interesting
so you can
how
see the
it's
construction.
interesting
It's
how
kinda
it's
got those
like
rings.
almost mirrored but not completely.
Exactly. That's a classic. It was
Yeah.
supposed to not be. And actually you can actually see it very well in the construction of the knotwork. The knotwork is very, very important in the Vendel age, and it's rather contemporary to the monastic early monastic Celtic kind of knotwork. But it differs in that it's instead of being completely symmetrical, it's as if they had a cable board and they changed the position of the cable. So they started with a grid form, which the monks would keep to. They would keep to a very regular grid, and then they changed. So if you look at the structure of this knotwork, you can actually identify lines that go from one to the other. So you can see a diagonal grid. Don't know if it makes any sense.
Kind of like with the braid.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you'd have you have the head of the snake here, top left, is actually the same line as this hoop. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. So this is the same line.
Yep.
It's actually
I'm with you.
Yeah, so this is the same line, and it goes on like that. So it seems like they
cool.
actually constructed it as a parallel grid, because imagine you're making something extremely small, so you need to start with a overseeable structure, and then they developed the changes and the variations.
So fascinating.
Let's see. Yeah, this is. I'll show you one that is very, very, very clearly like that. So this is 514. There's also only this part. It's called the ferrule of the sword. It's that top and bottom parts of the grip. And what's interesting it's quite interesting also in its wait a second, I'm a bit lost there. There you go. So you've got the beast here. These are
so small,
asymmetrical. Yeah, it's like,
help
and
us
this is
locate
nothing
the head. Luciano, is the head there at the bottom left or bottom right, or am I completely
both
off?
Yeah, there are two.
Yeah, okay.
Two heads.
Nice. Thank God.
There you go. So you see them in the right direction.
Thank
so
God.
you see,
Yeah.
here's the beak. It's like the long snout entangled with its own body. So there are two bodies that are entangled in the middle, and then they're looking away from each other. They're two offended beasts. They're looking away.
Don't talk
they've
to
fallen
me.
out.
You see? Exactly. It's like, yeah. So this is.
I'm not going to
and it's
apologize until
really-
you apologizes.
Exactly. That kind of thing. And well, what's very interesting is the next part, the flip side of this. Here you can actually see what I meant. This was made originally in a grid.
Oh. Yep.
You know, it's like, imagine a super regular grid, and then they change the cables pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Is that to make it fit the shape?
No, it's actually to give a balanced look, while it's I think it's to give a more organic kind of structure. It's a bit like, you know, they were probably aware. You can actually see it through the Viking Age as well. They preferred a type of symmetry that was, well, the type of symmetry you'd get in a face, that you have two sides that look rather different, but together they make a whole that makes sense.
Yeah,
exactly. Or a tree that has two, you know, its foliage on the right side and the left side makes sense and makes a balanced picture, but it's not you know, mirrored exactly.
This one feels a bit more sharp edged.
Yes.
And a little bit more not quite as elegant as some of the other ones.
But you see,
it's a bit more
you
angular.
see how these lines actually follow pretty much the same grid. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got different lines that are part of different ribbons, but they follow the same
kind of through line.
Grid, yeah, exactly. Grid line, pretty much, like here as well, and the other end as well here. So they sort of made a fan-like base structure of a grid made as a fan, so like opening up towards the top, and then they started playing with the knots and changing the directions of the ribbons. I'm nearly 100% sure, because it's, you know, doing it in any other way at that size would be stupid, really. You know, this is the only, you know, it wouldn't make much sense, you know.
Stupido.
Yeah, look at that. This is, look how small that is. So it's
Tiny.
really crazy. And now for, you know, so yeah, this is the complete. So you can see it from all sides of that ferrule. So it's a very nice construction, and it has this nice regular knot braided lines along the middle. And now I can show you the piece de résistance, the big one that doesn't look like much in its elements.
I have no idea, because I know what you're going to show me next. It's not going to look anything like this.
No,
and it's going to look so neat and nice.
But look! You can see a lot of detail there. You see? Look at the.
Oh shit!
You see? So all these knotworks and stuff, and the pommel is actually in the shape of a beast. So I'm actually a guy, you know. I'm just letting you walk my walk. This is what I do when I see this kind of mess. I just try to look into that. This is the right part is very, very damaged, but after a very long time, I managed to reconstruct it. And
I'm so surprised that they don't let you take your own pictures or let you request kind of more
Well, it all-
angles.
Well, it
Yes,
all
exactly.
depends on the museum, I suppose, where what they have. I'm not trying to defend museums here, but I'm just saying that there are a lot of different kind of standard practices, and sometimes they're overworked or they don't have time, and sometimes they're just not
No,
that
well,
willing to.
Here they just, I think they just didn't think about it. It was just
And that happens.
silly, and it was my responsibility to do so. So I just I realized a little late. So it took me, especially for this sword, an enormous amount of time. But here it is. So feast your eyes.
Are those garnets?
Yes. The garnets at the top that are like the
Holy
ribs
shit.
are about 2.5 millimeters wide. So look at what a centimeter is down here. So
Okay.
but this is what made me think
This is very
that
small.
yeah this
Mhm.
this is ridiculously small. This is something that most people actually, I talked to opticians and they said that like most people wouldn't be able to read the detail at the time.
No.
Wow.
It could be really plausible that actually the owner of the sword couldn't see the detail of it.
Wow. The detail on that top part where you're looking. Oh, I guess that's the underneath side, is it? So if you go down,
Okay. Yeah.
down to the next one, even those bits are. Keep going down a little bit more, a little bit further.
I can't go very far.
No, down is in. Oh no, sorry, this middle bit here, the bit in the middle that looks like this bit. Yes,
that's from top. Is that top down?
This part is this layer that you see. It's like the second from the top.
So looking up.
Looking upwards, yes, in that direction, yes. So this surface near here.
But you know what's really interesting to me, Luciano, is I haven't really looked into this, but I know there's a lot of theory on like senses other than sight, and it really makes me intrigued about the whole notion of how much touch played in this, because one thing is not being able to, it's not that you would be able to necessarily physically see, in heavy quotation marks, the motifs with touch alone necessarily, but I wonder, you would also get a different sensory experience if there were particular things that you knew you couldn't see but you could touch them. I really wonder how that played. That's just a me thought, but I just think it's interesting because these designs are so tactile, right? Because they have a background, they have a foreground, and their recesses and their crevices and so it's a lot of fun.
Yes, but what I think is going on there, because this is way too small for just being, it's like this is so small that you couldn't brag about it. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's it poses a problem. I've been doing reenactment since 1994, and I've seen a lot of people brag with their bling. Mm-hmm. And it's all about showing how much detail you've got on your gear. But this is so small that you couldn't really brag. So like say 1 in 5 could actually read the detail. Wow. So it made me think that there must be a different purpose to it.
That's a whole different level of bragging, though. My sword is so detailed that you can't even see it.
You can't even see it. I can't even see it.
Yeah, but we just have to. Somebody can see it, and they'll attest.
You don't even know, man.
For how detailed this actually is.
You can't even see. Exactly. You don't know, man.
Yeah.
But
you can't even understand how much detail is on this sword right now.
You genuinely cannot understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Luciano, go ahead.
But you know what I think? I think that it actually had a sort of it was a sort of an expression of power.
Mm-hmm.
like getting to the molecules of matter. It's like making details so small and precise and intricate that your dominion over matter was magical. So I think
really
that it may have been something that gave the warrior a few extra gears in battle.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of, it's like we have intervened with, we have so much agency over matter that we imbue it with extra power. Because there must be a different reasons. Like if one person in 5 can see it, and probably somebody that was a good fighter wouldn't have that ability to actually see what was on his sword.
Mm-hmm.
That then it makes you think this must be for some other reason.
Yeah.
It's really insane. It's like look at this, and this part is particularly interesting because it's also constructed on a grid. It's like you've got a central grid shape, and then on the sides here, where it tapers towards the middle, you've got like sort of rings. You see, like that connect onto each other. So they're like sort of rings that get smaller.
All right, yeah.
And entangle into each other, but they're still grids. It's a very complex structure to begin with. It's like it's very,
I'd say
very
so.
intricate.
Actually,
Absolutely.
Luciano, for a second, keep the picture zoomed in right there where you saw the centimeter thing with like next to the detail and everything. Just give me a second.
Okay, I'm gonna run for a quick wee whilst Max does whatever she's doing. I'll be back in a second.
What is it you're doing?
Okay, I'm back because I thought this was a very good opportunity for those of you watching to really get, because I know, but to get like an actual impression of what we're talking about. So here we see like the level of detail, you see the center. So this one line is 1 centimeter, right? Or is each little dot?
This is,
so is it
these
3 centimeters?
This is 3 centimeters, yes.
Right.
Exactly. So
this is 3 centimeters.
Yes.
That's how small that is. From where my forefinger starts to my pointer finger to my other pointer finger, it's that big. It's tiny.
Yes, it's amazingly small. Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really small. Absolutely. On the screen, it looks large, but it's definitely not.
I just, while you were away, Dan, I just brought out a little tape measure and look, like this is 3 centimeters. That is how small we're talking. It's this big.
It's tiny, yeah. So it's what, about 11 centimeters across, I guess?
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
That's incredible.
9, yes, exactly. Yeah, maybe 10. Basically, the surface that is decorated. Yes, absolutely. So imagine that all this was made probably on something like wax. It was just, made into a grid, and then all the knots and connections were reorganized to fit.
Without a magnifying glass.
Without a magnifying glass. And then it was cast. And after it was cast, it was all, refined with burr, like by hand. And after that, it was gilded.
Wow. So what on that central on that piece we were just looking at,
Yeah.
on the left-hand side, what's this? This looks like some sort of
This
animal.
is two beasts that are interconnected. So here on the bottom and at the top, there are two heads. So you have the lower jaw that's connected over there, and here are the necks, basically.
Right,
You know, that are entangled with each other, and this is the back legs, basically. They're very particular kind of beasts. So they're not very usual in their structure. There is another beast here, as you can see. It's like with this is the back of it and the back leg. And there is a few beasts over here as well. So mostly, there are serpents. So two serpents at the top here, and then another one here, and another one there as well.
Oh.
And then, this is one side, and then there is the other side. Of course,
no idea what's going to be on the other side.
That's that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Because,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
still working on this little bit that was broken, so it was a bit difficult to reconstruct, but, you get a general idea.
Why are there such difference in style?
Haha, that's a very good question. Actually, because it was made by different people. So to give you a good idea, it's like my work is very weird because the scholar that actually asked me to start with this article, was questioning me about at the beginning. So like, what shall we, underline and make the center of this this article? And to me, it's a very complicated question to answer, because I discover what there is to discover at the end of the process.
Right? Exactly. That's how I feel when
I can't tell you from the beginning what I'm going to discover by the end of the process. So, for example, all right, these two layers that you see in the middle. So the really mid one is this one over here. So that one connected to the grip, right, of the sword, right, looking inwards to the sword. And the lower one is the one connected to the blade. You can actually see it from the slit, longer slit, right? So that the one that you would see from the bottom. Well, these two layers were made by two different people, at least. Definitely. Because there are two main elements that make me think that. The first one is the structure. The top guy, the one that made the top part, was much more structured. As you can see, it's just much, much more regular. This is constructed around 4 beasts that are connected at the headdress.
Oh, is that what that is?
So here you see 4 eyes with the snouts, and here's the neck and the chest and the leg. So you see 4 of them. You see, they're connected at the head, and they cross their snouts up and down. So they first made the grid, the shape of the 4 beasts, and then constructed the knotwork in between. That's pretty much, and that's the same thing on this side. This one was much, much more loose in structure. You also have beasts like that, but they are a little looser in construction. So you see here the 2 heads, also with the snouts connecting, and the snouts are a little different. Like the the top part of the snout and the bottom part of the snout are actually connected at the tip, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is not the case here. They are actually very clearly distinguished, and here they go distinctly one. The top part of the snout goes upwards, and the bottom part goes downwards and entangles, while these others are actually go both downwards. You see, so they're from two different schools of Vendel art, so to speak. The structure of the body is similar, but you see, it's like here you got like two beasts, and then you've got two beasts mirrored on the other side, right?
Yeah.
And the same over here on the other end, but they have different proportions. Like the beasts on the right side are larger than the ones on the left side. So it's done in a much more organic way, much looser. Like the top guys,
they're facing the other way as well.
Exactly. Yeah, they're organized in a different way, but the general structuring is different. And there is another thing about the top guy that this one used a very particular form of shoulder joint. So here you have a shoulder joint. Like I'll show you the classic shoulder joint is this. So you've got like the body shape. So here's the neck, here's the chest.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of the chest, front part of the chest, you have a hoop that that goes into the front leg, right? So this is the elbow, etc. So that's the classic shape of this joint. This one instead has it go first backwards inside the body, downwards, and entangled with the throat, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's a characteristic that it keeps repeating. So it's over here, it's over here as well, over here. There's only one instance in which he actually uses the classic shape. Like
he does.
Here. Exactly. But it's only one.
How interesting. Why would that be?
Just, he was thinking, there's a guy in the future called Dan that's going to ask this question. Let's do it just to keep him guessing.
Just why do 7 one way? And
but here's the thing. I kind of feel like that encapsulates a lot of Vendel and Viking Age art, is that you suddenly end up with factors where we today are like, but why would they do that? But the art is like, why not? I've done it this way 7 times, but now I'll do it this way.
Exactly. Well, it's like
maybe there's more of a reason to it, but like as far as we can tell, there isn't like an obvious reason always, which I kind of love.
It could be just because they needed to break that complete mirror symmetry. That could easily be, really.
That could be enough. Yep.
And this part of the sword was also made by the same guy that made this one. And you can actually see, because he uses the same
pattern,
shoulder shoulder shape, which is rather unusual in these beasts. So I'm pretty sure that the one that made this beast was the same guy that made this, and that's different from this one. It would also make sense, because if you're making something so incredibly small and so incredibly difficult to construct, you'd want, a little help. Otherwise, it would take, 2 years
forever
to do on your own.
Yeah.
So like, and that's, and as you can see, also,
I feel like your drawings should be alongside the artifacts in museums.
Yeah, it would be actually. I'm negotiating cross-finger with the National Museum to actually do something like that with with some major artifacts they've got there. They're looking for some funds to start it as an experiment. So
I think
having
it kind of goes back to the conversation we had with Richard the other day on how to make it a little bit more museums a little bit more engaging, I guess.
exactly.
And having this there, I think would help people see things, and especially when you with the stuff you've shown us before, where it has a bit of a story and it's color coded, it really helps bring the item back to life as well. You get to see the original, but it's so difficult to, it's taking you, I don't know, however many months or years to get to this point from you looking at it from, high detail pictures. If you're in a museum and you have a quick look, you're like, that's really cool, it's pretty, but you don't get to really appreciate
that's exactly
the
it.
until you see it like this.
But
and
that's
like me and Max, when we go, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's exactly what actually that what started my journey in this kind of decoding and stuff. It was going to the museum in Oslo, and I'd been studying all those artifacts from the Oseberg collection for an immense amount of time. So I got there, and I knew every piece by code, pretty much. So I knew what I was looking at. I knew I had an intimate connection with the makers. I knew, oh, that's that guy. Oh, that's the other guy. And then I looked at the people at the museum, and I saw just blank stares, and I thought, like, damn, it's like you're looking at, you're at the Madison Square Garden, in the heyday of Led Zeppelin, and you are stuck in the parking lot, pretty much. You're just hearing an echo of what the show is about, So, and that's what what I've been working to do. It's like all that you see here, all that I've been showing you through the years is what I would like to see in museums.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I think it would be a great accoutrement to the artifact.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do. Like, I would like to have the football fan go into the National Museum and be able to follow what they're looking at. So being drawn into it, like so that you don't need the whole academic
plus
knowledge about it. So.
Exactly. Plus that it is really fun to look at a drawing of something and see if you can try to find it on the actual thing and be like kind of use it as a map for the object.
Exactly.
And be like, oh wait, because is that there? No, wait, that's there. And then people stand around there like pointing and they're talking and
Exactly.
Yeah.
So basically
I think it would be so beneficial.
Yeah. So basically it's to give people, visitors, keys. You don't mansplain what's there. You just give them the keys. They open the locks and see what's inside. Basically, that's the idea.
It's fun. I say it every time you're on, Luciano. I think your work is so incredible, and it seems like it's getting more recognized by people, and you're getting more kind of
hopefully
recognition for what you do, because I don't think there's anybody whose name, when it comes to a guest that's been on the podcast, that I bring up to people more than yours.
Thank you very much.
It feels like every few episodes I'm like, have you ever seen Luciano's work? Have you ever seen Children of Ash? Have you ever looked at? So
actually, thanks to you, I've got in touch with Howard.
Yes. Did he get back to you in the end?
Yes. So
wonderful.
We had a long chat, and he also told me at the end of the chat that I have 3 PhDs of material.
Yeah, you sure do.
That's Howard Williams. Yeah, so that's Howard Williams who was on here.
Yes.
Again, but he loves artwork. He loves the Anglo-Saxon
Yes.
crosses and the hogbacks and all that kind of I guess sculpture. Is it sculpture? Sculpture is the right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I remember having that conversation. I don't think you were here. I think you were away, Mags.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But I remember saying to Howard, "Yeah, you need to speak to Luciano, or you need to look at his work. It's together.
Absolutely.
I think when you put the knowledge together, you can really open some doors and maybe."
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
It's not just the knowledge; it's having the skills to be able to recreate it. And I think that's so that you've learned to do this over so long, and probably you're looking at the photographs, but you're manipulating them. I'm sure by changing the light, the colors that are applied, you're changing the what colors come through, what doesn't, the brightness, and all these different ways that we can manipulate modern technology to find those finer details. And it's having somebody who understands that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the rest. This is the pommel from all sides, and
this looked
this is
so. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That's just 8 centimeters wide. That's So
could you put it in full screen again?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Because what's really funny is
and moving it onto my other screen.
I have been waiting to see this from like the size and top down, and this, I don't know what I expected, but this wasn't it, and I am intrigued. What is this?
It's some sort of
this
multi-beast.
This little end face is quite a cute little guy with
a little like
two beady eyes, and then like a. Looks like a mohawk.
You know what it reminds
me of? It's a type of bug.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those chess pieces in the first Harry Potter movie that are like hunched over.
Oh yeah.
That with like the shell thing. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it reminds me of that. The ones that pull out the double swords. Yeah.
It's really, and the lines that come down kind of have that. Like it's almost like a shell type creature though.
Very exoskeleton vibes.
You see that it also, it's like you see the shoulder of this beast, and from the elbow there is another beast coming out, and there is another beast coming out of the brow on both sides. So you actually see this. They're multi-beasts. They don't, it's not like here you've got like the back leg,
but you know what, just
the back talon.
Because
you know what just hit me? What just hit me is that the very straight lines that go like down at an angle from the top on both sides, like the top here, where it's just like. That it almost kind of looks. It looks kind of like the hair on the head of some of the faces on the wagon from Oseberg, where it looks like they have like a middle parting and then just hair going straight down, almost like a cap. That's what that reminds me of.
Okay, like Leo in Titanic.
Yeah, 100% Leo in Titanic.
Curtains.
Yep. Like that 90s slick, like not quite a bowl cut, but approaching it type situation.
But sometimes after a shower.
Yep. That's what that reminded me of. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just sometimes after a shower, my hair falls like that, Mags, and I feel that I look like Leo in that movie.
Nah. You could start like lip syncing to any NSYNC song, and you would be completely fine.
Yeah. It's interesting how it breaks. It's interesting how it breaks the bottom border as well.
Plus, it's not everything. There is more.
Okay.
The blade itself has got an inlay in gold.
No way.
All right. Yes, and it's that size. So
this sword is so extra.
Inlay. Yeah, this is I call it the golden Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it's insane. And
Was
there
that
is also
was that
another.
known? Was that known before you looked at this, or did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, 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 yes.
Okay.
And there is another inlay which is quite interesting because there's this square of interlace
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty much halfway the blade, which is like
Oh.
on the midpoint, which opens a lot more questions than gives answers.
Do you think that could be? I don't know. Is it possible that it was broken and then repaired? But I don't know if that would make any difference. I don't really know how you repair
No idea.
Well, it's possible to
swords, or if
repair.
you can.
It's
But it
possible, but
looks-
it's extremely difficult. But could it have been intentionally
Yeah.
broken for the burial? Because that's the thing.
No,
No.
I-
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's just deteriorated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
It
fair
doesn't look
enough.
like there's a break through that kind of square either, does it? That's
No, exactly.
doesn't look like it was.
So it's
How
you
interesting.
know, I made another it's just sort of this is what you'd look at. These are the
So is that inlaid just in
Can
that
we
section? It's not
s-
the whole length.
exactly. So in
Can we zoom in on
those
it a
two
little?
parts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
So that's
That's a bit,
So-
little
Oh,
bit
you'd be so
different than the
flashy
rest.
having that, wouldn't you?
yes.
Yeah,
It's
the
quite
style's
a-
different, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not really that different. This is pretty much this. It's like also beasts made of beasts. You see.
I guess
Like
the
you've
biggest
got,
thing
like,
for
this
us then is that
beast.
now we're used to kind of every single millimeter being filled with knotwork. While here they've
Yeah.
taken the space and just like not everything has to be filled. It's fine. So the fact that it's a bit more open and airy is maybe a bit like
Yeah.
different for us right now.
It looks like teeth at the top there. Are they teeth?
Yeah, those are teeth. Yeah, exactly.
Look at that.
This
It's
is
like a Venus
the
flytrap.
beak. Yeah, exactly. And here's the eyes of the beast. So it's actually two beasts from the like in Amprophil actually meeting together. It's a bit
Okay.
like a sort of a mask if you look at it from this side.
Yeah, from
See?
That
No,
looks
it's-
trippy
it's
as
not
fuck.
a bit.
Yeah, it does. It just looks like a silly little guy. I don't know how to
No, but
take that.
it's actually a theme. I actually can show you what where it comes from because it's not by chance. It's something that is
Oh, I don't
repeated
doubt it.
over and over.
Yeah,
There's
don't
a
doubt it.
cartoon buffalo that I don't know the name of that looks like that. It's
So
like
you
a buffalo drawing, and I can't think of the
Yeah.
name of it.
Yeah, I
but
know- I know what
that's
you're
what it
talking
reminds
about.
me of.
Okay. So you're actually looking at two beasts en profile that actually meet together and become a mask, and their brows are also beasts.
Mhm.
I'll show you directly the theme on a very, very, very small place or a piece that they found. It's actually maybe 2 centimeters, and they found on Fyn in Jutland. And it's actually exactly the same concept. So this is the piece, and this is what it looks like. So there is, you see?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's also two beasts and the teeth in between, and then the two parts of the beard, or the mustache beard, become two separate snakes. Actually, I can show you. I made a separated image. So here you see the mask, and then here you see the separate beasts. Here's one beast, and here's the other beast.
Yeah.
So you can see them clearly separated. And then the endings of the snout become two snakes.
Yep.
That are also interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an ongoing theme.
Yeah.
So
They're taking like
that keeps going. So
they're taking the organic thing extreme, like they're just they are really stretching that as far as they can.
Yeah.
It's so organic that it's
absolutely.
literally
So, yeah.
more than one single creature at the same time.
Yeah, but I think that it's it's not just an aesthetic thing. It's actually from the development. Now we don't have time to go into very very much detail, but the idea is to express the multitude of the being. That
Oh, absolutely.
that inside each creature there is a multitude of both physically and psychologically there's a multitude of moods and parts that actually interact and interact with their outside world. So
inside all of us, there's
yeah,
a multitude of different moods.
exactly. I've come to think that if you encountered somebody from the Vendel or the Viking Age, they would actually look at you, Dan, as a collective of parts. They would not think of you as one. They would think as you as a collective. Think about a partner you have, and when you have, when you are in your most loving relationship, and then think of when you have your fiercest conflict, and consider those two people that you are dealing with. They don't look or feel the same at all. They feel like they're two separate beings.
Yeah,
and that makes a lot of sense. It's like if you consider it in those terms, and how your organs inside act out of the blue, and then maybe kill you, or maybe stop acting out.
Or you've been working with Mercury for too long.
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
And it makes you a little bit strange.
So you're, but if you expand on that idea, it's expressing the multitude of beings would also make sense as a sort of warning protection mechanism, because you don't know, you look like a nice guy, Dan, but maybe you've got a sword, and you drink somewhat, and then you start becoming something that may be dangerous to me. So if I from the beginning consider you as respect you as a collective of parts, then I may be a bit more cautious and more protected from your darker sides, for example.
I get that. We're all multifaceted.
Yeah, it's like would make sense to actually express that, that you got the good sides, the bad sides, the unknown bits.
I only have good sides, Luciano.
Of course.
Except when you just pre-assume that all sailors everywhere at all times were men. That's the only bad side you got.
No.
Couldn't help myself. It was right there.
Yeah.
I had to take it.
So here's a connection both in theme and also in the fact that Salme was connected to Uppsala and Ultuna in this case. So these are two scabbard mounts, fragments of, it's like the mouth of the scabbard, it's like the top is where the blade would enter. And so the left one is from Ultuna and the right one is from Salme. So you can see that they have pretty much the same theme of that mask made out of two beasts. Now you've seen the pattern, and you can re-see it again, and so the left one is a bit more articulated, has more detail, but the right one has the same principle with with these beaks that cross, you see.
Yeah.
like over there and over there.
Uh-huh.
Just it's the same theme, but a bit more.
A little
You
bit
know,
different.
it's given more detail, as you can see. See, now it's constructed a bit more expanded, but it's the same theme completely. And yeah, so here it is in its it's, you see, so it's very
Really
very
cool.
similar in structure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you can actually tell, all right, these people, you know, maybe it was not made by the same person, but they, you know, they knew of each other. They were influenced in, you know, there was a stylistic connection that went beyond just the same historical period. This is a bit more narrow, you know, to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wonderful.
right,
because we're 2 hours in.
all right.
How much have we got left to go through?
I would like to just add one thing, which is the actual historical turning point there, which is the last sword, which is 890. And you can see this one is not in the same style. This yes, it's got panels, yes, definitely, and also it's in a different style. The beasts are changing in structure and form. The bits and ends are changing, but also the structure, the construction of the sword is different, and it's very interesting because it's a transition structure, because it looks like it's made out of layers, but it's actually not. This is one piece. It's cast in one piece. So it's mimicking the earlier structure of swords, but it's actually moved on into one piece. You see?
Oh, yeah. So it's
very cool.
So interesting that kind of how we do today, though. When technology moves forward, we still make things to look like the thing that came before, even if it isn't the same thing.
So you can see, now I'll show you the reconstruction, so you have a more detailed idea. I'm still working on that last panel on the left side. I have to finish it before the end of the month, so
yeah.
I got a bit of and also at the top right there's
this is looking a lot more familiar to the area that I've worked with. I recognize things quicker here.
Exactly. So then this is style D, and it's the very early style D, because it gets actually more complex and articulated, and this is rather it's on the clumsy side. It's actually moving towards a more definite and clear-cut style, but it's not there yet. But it's the first it's the first steps towards another form of art, practically.
I mean, I get what you're saying with how it's like maybe a little bit clumsy compared to how the style develops, but it still looks pretty good, in my opinion.
It looks really good, actually. Yes, pretty much.
Wait, could you zoom in on the panels a little?
Sure. Do you see the beasts have these very
That's what I was
interesting jaws with lots of teethy?
Yeah, because it has like that little what would you call it? Like a limb that's like smushed up in the upper right corner there. Am I right about that?
That
it looks
one,
kind of like
exactly. Yeah. Yes. It's actually one finger. It's like so you've got the shoulder joint that comes directly out of the let's say, the main ribbon without any particular, joint structure. And then it splits, so like in two fingers, one that goes along the side of the border and one that goes underneath. So it's two finger-like bits. And you see here you have it again. It's like it splits into two parts. And that's also a pretty specific development of the style. This one also has a lower joint that goes into a sort of a spiral. You see? It's like you see it again here as well.
Oh yeah.
So that's the lower joint. There's the eye, the top joint, and the lower part that goes in an S shape there. And the knots are really still very much Wendel in their structure, but they've mixed with a different type of beasts already. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Wow.
So that's and it's one piece. So you see it's closed on this side, you see? So there's a blade inside. And so inside is all hollow.
Right,
So
okay,
completely hollow. There's no, those layers are fake layers. They don't actually exist as separate pieces.
How interesting. Yeah, how interesting they've copied the
so
style.
It's like the last thing I wanted to show was actually, this is a sword from Wendel 1. And here you see the same structure of beasts. So you see here the head with the snout. So the head looking backwards. So here's the neck and then the body. And then there's a mirrored beast on the top side. So you see, and there's a knotwork that tapers down towards center of along the blade side. So it's a recurring type of pattern. So with these beasts, with these semi-mirror beasts on these sides, and so there's a lot of varieties on these themes. But you can actually see recurring patterns. And this beast that like with a human face is actually reproduced in other plates like this, but in a larger form with a humanoid in the center, and then with beasts on the sides. And the beasts on the sides actually change every time. So you got the humanoid, the humanoid here. And then you got these two sort of horse-like bodies with beaks and hands at the end. So that gives you a good idea of the
so
blended.
they're kneeling as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Down.
A blended, essence of these beasts. And inside those larger beasts, there are other beasts that look body-wise a bit like seals, but then also with a beak, and they have flippers, you see, at the back. But
that reminds me of like something.
A large.
Yeah, it reminds me of like something from like the Ice Age movies or something. Some sort of extinct creature.
Exactly. And here's another plate that has pretty much the same construction, but different beasts. So it's a theme. So what you need to think, it's not like in Christian, iconography, in which you have a fixed iconography. So this figure needs to be there, and this other figure needs to be there. It's more like a chain. You've got the main theme. So there's this humanoid. So if you look upwards, you've got the same one. You see? Same structure, but the beasts are different. So you've got these great beasts, and here you've got two other great beasts that have more like, these have like a horse tail actually, and hooves at the end, while these other great beasts have hands. Actual, literally
hands,
have
yeah.
hands. Yeah. And on the other side, you actually have a sort of a snake-like element that is held by these great beasts and goes through the throat of this humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other, snakes that go through the body of these beasts, of this humanoid that's running from the left side to the right side. So it's pretty much the same theme. So these are all the separate parts of this. Also went there. So you see, you've got this. So this theme that you see in the scabbard mounts and in these plates again is, I think that it's the same theme as this one. Yes, exactly. But it's expanded and it's developed. So it's a chain of themes. You've got a central concept that is manifested with different hooks and ends every time. So it's like a chain of motifs rather than one iconography that needs to be repeated exactly in the same way.
Yeah.
So, what's really interesting, Luciano, is that what the thing that you ended with saying right there, the chain of motifs that is like becomes a theme together, but not like the strict iconography that we're used to, but like the chain of motifs. That is very similar to a theory that a professor of mine in archaeology has developed for reading rock art carvings from the Neolithic.
Oh, cool.
So I just wanted to give that great minds think alike.
Yeah, cool.
There you go. Yeah. We should do an episode just on vendor art. I don't think we've ever done one.
We should.
Cool if you want to come back and do that, Luciano, at some point.
Yeah, sure.
You're probably sick of us now, aren't you? No, I'm just kidding.
Nah. Let's wrap this up because like I say we're at 2 hours 10 minutes.
Wow.
I thought we went
short.
I thought we went long with Basil last week, but we've surpassed
short.
it. Let's quickly wrap up and then we'll just do a quick Q&A. Mags, I know you said you're getting a headache. So if you want to dip out, you can do.
No, but I'll just go in the break. Longer. I'll just go get myself a drink and some Advil. And then if it doesn't pass, then I'll dip out early. But
wonderful. Yeah, like I said, we won't hang around too long. Luciano,
I feel that it's a bit, it's like complicated with Q&As because it seems like pretty much everything has been said.
Yeah, there might not be very much. I know I've seen one question.
Great.
But yeah, we'll get into it. We'll see. And so yeah, Luciano, where can people find you and follow your work first and foremost?
Well, mostly is on Instagram under Children of Ash, but I also do tattoo work under Notis Compungo. I keep them separate for it's like to keep a different level of expression. One more tighter to the academic bit, and the other one more expressive and more connected to the present interests of people, but still connected to historical styles as they used to be. I'm also on LinkedIn as Children of Ash and stuff. So that's pretty much it.
Oh, wonderful. Mags, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at ArcuMags, Arcu with a K.
There you go. And it's Daniel_Farrand1 for me. Personally, Horns of Odin for the business, Nordic Mythology podcast across the board. And yeah, like I say, if you want to can support us on Patreon, we appreciate it very much. Go and have a look on there. There's a ton of bonus material. And with that said, that wraps up. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is where we bid you farewell. If you want to join the Q&A, just quickly sign up to Patreon. You get there is a free trial option available, and you can jump back in the direct link where you get to watch the Q&A as well, and you can listen to those after the fact. But with that said, there we go.